Welcome to the PubMed Quick Basics video. This recording will give you a basic introduction to PubMed and simple keyword searching. PubMed is a database supported by the National Library of Medicine, which allows for free abstract searches. However, if you go to PubMed through the USF Health Library site, this will actually give you access to full text when it's available. This is found through our A to Z health resource list. Now, PubMed uses something called controlled vocabulary. Other databases use something similar as well. And this basically means that a person has read the article and applied a standardized terminology about the major topics of the article. And in PubMed, this is called MESH. However, one quick note, it's important to remember that since it's a real person applying these terms, not everything is indexed in a timely manner, and some things are never indexed. So it's important to always have both your mesh term or your controlled vocabulary in another database and then a simple keyword. This has gone into further in the basic searching video. Now, I like to look for my controlled vocabulary first, since it often has some synonyms listed, which helps me build my more complex searches. To get to the mesh database, you simply find the link at the bottom of the page and select this. Now we're going to search for our term. In this case, we'll search for cancer. And we see that the formal term in PubMed for cancer is neoplasms. And it gives us a little definition and some other possible things we might be interested in. But this first one is the one we're looking for. Now ignore this. This is from a previous search that I failed to clear. So when we look here, this is our controlled vocabulary. So we can simply add to Search Builder, and you can see it has in brackets mesh, and that's just simply how you tell that it is a controlled vocabulary. Now I'm going to grab the keyword of this, just neoplasms, to catch those articles that I mentioned earlier that don't have the controlled vocabulary attached to the record. And then I'm also going to scroll down here to what are called entry terms in PubMed. And these are just simply the synonyms for your word. So this is really great if you're not quite sure what some of the other ways that people refer to it as. So we're going to add a couple of these in because we want to catch the articles that call cancer tumor, or we want to catch the articles that call it neoplasm. So we'll also just put cancer in here, and we're linking those with or, and there's more information on that in the full search video. So we're going to run this search, and that is the very basic kind of quick search. Now, if I wanted to go back to add a second concept, I could go back and go to my mesh terms and look for another term. So in this case, we'll look for Agent Orange, and it gives us a definition and the same thing. I'd want to add it in and then search PubMed. And now I have two separate concepts and I want to link them together. Now, it is really important to remember that searching PubMed is much more efficient if you have a clearly defined clinical question. So you want to use something like Pico or another search framework before getting too far into your searches so that you can sort of start to build your search efficiently. There is another video that shows you how to do that. So here we can simply combine our two concepts by adding query. And because we want to find out where they intersect, we're going to combine them with and, because according to Boolean logic, that's what happens. You're looking for articles that have this, one of these words, and one of these words in the same article. The or is any of these words. So we'll simply hit search here. And that has narrowed ours down to 149 results. So we could review, look for additional articles, look for additional terminology. We could apply limits like date range or article type or languages. There are some additional filters as well that you can do. And it's important to note that even though almost all of the abstracts in PubMed are in English, it does not mean that the article is in English. So you do want to be aware of that when you're doing your research. The other really, really nice thing about PubMed is it allows you to create what's called a My NCBI account. And you can simply do this through the National Library of Medicine site. And it allows you to keep some saved searches. It allows you to see your recent activity. So you're able to go back if you forgot to save a search. So it can be incredibly helpful. I strongly recommend creating one if you're going to use PubMed with any sort of frequency. The other really nice thing about PubMed is it allows you to create alerts. So this is the saved search I showed you on the last page. You can give it a name that you'd like. And then you can either just set it up so that search gets saved. And if you want to go back and rerun it quarterly or every month or whenever you want to run it again, if you're working on a long term project, you don't have to rebuild the search from scratch. The other thing that's really nice is you can actually set up email alerts for this. And this lets you get emails when new articles are published. So it's a really nice way of staying passively on top of your research topic without having to remember to run a search every day. So the one other thing I'm going to quickly point out about PubMed is that you can use it to send things directly to a citation manager like EndNote. Now we have another video on EndNote, so I won't spend a lot of time in there, but I did want to point out that this is where it is and this is what you use to send out. Now, this was a very, very basic introduction to PubMed. There is a lot more to discuss, a lot more complexity, a lot of little things that'll make the search more efficient, but this should give you a good idea of how to maneuver in this database. And of course, if you have any questions about searching, databases, or anything research related, please don't hesitate to reach out to a librarian using the Ask a Librarian link on our homepage. Thank you and good luck with your research.